Yes, a beautiful morning to you, a wonderful listener all over the world. You're welcome to Lagoon Radio, your number one gospel radio in Nigeria, and it is powered by the Diocese of Lagos Anglican Communion. Today being the 10th day in the month of February 2021, I, Olumakaiye, welcome you to another episode of our newspaper review. Not here alone. I have my colleagues here in the studio. Sandra, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
I have Shegun. Good morning, Shegun.
Good morning.
And I have Chimize. Good morning to you. Yeah, today, don't forget to be part of Lagoon Radio family. All you have to do is to download the Lagoon Radio application on your Google Play Store or iOS, and also follow us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Lagoon Radio Nigeria. We are currently live on Facebook and on YouTube, LagoonTV. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Lagoonradio.Ng. Yes, let's get into the business of the day. Yes, on my table here I have the This Day newspaper, and on the front page of this I beg your pardon, this Nigeria, yes, this Nigerian newspaper. Africa GDP falls by 165 billion naira, says additional 26 million drop into extreme poverty. You get that on page 15 of this Nigerian newspaper. And declare state of emergency on ritual killings. Rep tell federal government. You get the story on page 6. Yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. I think it's worth declaring a state of emergency for, because come to think of what has been happening in Nigeria now. The ritualists are not even the older men again. These are young guys, teenagers in the 20s, 30s. These are the people that are into rituals, and it's really getting out of. And I think I support the idea of declaring state of emergency for that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, like this morning on my way to work, I was listening to one of I think Nigeria Info, where there were like a lot of debates this morning concerning this, and a lot of opinion were like, actually that I think it started from social media, whether that's like it started from Nollywood and all those things. That it was a very big serious discussion today, you understand, and people veil their opinion. To me, to be honest, I'm so impressed, because looking at the world is turning to, especially our country, you understand, the way is begin to wrap, to see young teenagers, growing up those days. When talking about rituals, we're talking about older people, but right now we're looking at babies. We're looking at people that has breast issues. Now they are not thinking about how to make money. I think society is holding responsible, church too is holding responsible, family is holding responsible, because a lot of churches are talking about prosperities, talking about give your highest big tithe, highest big this, and nobody is making the emphasis of even talking about the 10 talents, about
like how to make
the story in the Bible when God parable of the 10 talent of, okay, I gave you this, what do you use it to? The one that was given to invest it, and the one was given one was hidden it. Churches are not doing that anymore. Churches, you go to churches, especially a lot of churches, they are talking about prosperity, how to get rich. And that's the truth. And family too. A lot of parents want like, oh, don't you see this person's son is doing that?
Let me say something about that. Yesterday we were at home and my sisters, they were talking about the graduate from this school in Ogbomoso.
Okay.
Lautech. If you know Lautech, you understand what I'm trying to say. So they were talking about all these Yahoo guys and all. So they were not talking about a particular family that his mother is even the one behind everything. That whenever the money is dropping down, the mother will start running at a scatter from one ritualist to another. My piggy, his money is coming down, he's dropping, As you've said, family, some families, they are supporting bad habits, not even be bad habits, So I think a state of emergency is actually needed.
Yeah.
Wait, when you talk about state of emergency, who are the ones proposing the state of emergency?
The reps.
The reps.
The ones that are eating the future of the young ones that are into rituals. No, let's look at it this way. I just want to be the other way.
Okay.
The ritual is on the increase, and nobody is happy about it. But what are the steps taken by these reps? These so-called reps that has eaten deep? Nigerian youths don't have future.
We know that.
A lot of Nigerian youths don't believe in the Nigerian dream and don't believe in the Nigerian future. So when they talk about declaring a state of emergency,
but Chimeze, some people are still making it.
That's
despite everything that is happening.
That's what I'm telling you. But these our representatives, these our political elects, they are not giving us hope. That's my own. If you watch way back, many of them in that Senate House and the House of Rep, they went to school through free education of Awolowo and the rest of them. But what are they giving back to the society? You will see a senator. Let me mention name. Dino Melaye will come and see his pictures, see his Instagram on social media, see cars, fleet of cars. Which message is he sending to the young? Which message? Time shall come. The House of Rep will be dominated by this young ritualist. No. Because if you don't have the money,
serious.
No,
but we are even going too far. Chimeze, the truth is that ritualism, when you are into rituals, it goes beyond just making money. If you know what these politicians do,
that's what
of course I know that.
If they are selling parts, who are those buying the part of the bodies they sell? That's the question. Forget about it. Let's just keep up this. Because the moment we start digging deep, we may spend forever.
In fact, Ezekiel has said it all. Yes, we need state of emergency, but it will be from clear minds. And this is where the church comes in.
That's the standard.
But
this is where the church comes in.
Like what I said from the beginning, the churches are not helping matters. If you go on social media, some pastors too do it.
Some of the religious leaders too have fallen short of this.
Definitely.
So, you understand? But this is where the church comes in. But like in some of the churches, we have training for youth. We have what is it called? Empowerment. And some churches are, but due to the society, the moral decadence is on high. And another thing that we are talking about now, it will still boil down to family, because family is the first stage of socialization. Before you talk about the church. Family is the first stage of socialization. A lot of parents leave their duty. In fact, let's family first before we come to religious leaders, because some of the religious leaders too, they are not. In fact, they are worse than the politicians.
So let's just go straight. And I have this contaminated fuel. Federal government begins probe. Yes, Buhari orders query of regulatory agency. How 10,000 meter of bad petrol caused scarcity. Yeah, the story is on page 4 of this Nigerian newspaper. And Oyo short IBEDC for disconnecting governor's office from power supply. page 9 of this Nigeria. And pension reform. Senate proposes 75% lump sum some payment to retirees at page 5 of this Nigerian newspaper. So just grab a copy and read through.
Okay, I have Nigerian News Direct. On the front page, I have federal government to approve condemnation for
contaminated fuel supply.
Supply. And still there we have we are not importer of contaminated fuel. MRS oil. Declare that there's any story behind that makes them to say that. Okay, let me just go a little bit of that. MR oil. Okay, MRS oil Nigeria PLC have declared for the. Okay.
Sure that you read it.
No, I'm just trying to get. There's an story that back it up. What makes them to say that when people was like declaring a rumor that they are the one that import the fuel over it, so they are trying to clear the air that they are not importer of that.
Of the contaminated
yes,
fuel.
exactly. You can see that one still on the front page. That's page 2 of Nigeria News Direct. Okay, still on that, as expert fuel NNPC over comprise of quality
assurance test.
Yeah, quality assurance test. You can see that one on still PG. That's the front page of page 2. Inside that, my police students bagged 7 months jail 10 for impersonation. You can see that one on page 2. Oh wow, okay, we have a lot of news on page 2. NNPC record $224.29 million proceeds for export of crude oil, gas in August. You can still see that one on page 2. MTN condemns the use of NIN tokenization. You can still see that one on page 2. Okay, almost all the news today on this has to do with page 2. Just grab your copy and read some interesting story there.
Yeah, I have the Nigerian Tribune newspaper here with me, and on the front page I have federal government begins probe of adulterated fuel import. And the story further says no need for panic buying. As to the retailers, to the consumers rather, As FEC okays 13 billion naira contract for aviation petroleum ministries. And it further says airlines raise alarm as aviation fuel now sells for over 400 naira per liter. That sounds awful, but it is well. Oyo State APC crisis deepens as stakeholders reject Omodewu. Don't mind the pronunciation, cha. Omodewu as chairman vow to challenge impositions in court. You can read more on the 5th page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And I have those two. DPO Sojo killed as gunmen attack Katsina community. Oh, that's bad. Gunmen in army uniform killed petrol station owner in Ogun. Kidnappers killed 2 in Ondo. Well, it has become the tone of the day. God will be ahead and guide us. Well, on the 28th page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, Oyo government seals IBEDC Ibadan office over 400 million tax debt. So IBEDC they owe too. It is well. So when you owe IBEDC, they will do what? They will disconnect your whatever. Now they are owing. Okay, what goes around comes around. It is well. Government owing us 450 million. There is another allegation against the government from the IBEDC. Well, the hunter is trying to catch the hunted. It is well. On the 13th page.
I like as they disconnect that governor's office.
Why would you say that?
Is it not the situation we are in
But
Nigeria?
they will be running gen now.
Let the governor's office run the gen.
No, but
I know
running
what the
gen-
citizens are suffering.
Oluwa.
Do you know running gen? It will cost us more money.
It's only,
You understand?
Do you
Because
think the
Which
government?
us? The governor.
I wonder.
When I say we, at the end is we, our generation who is going to suffer because one,
you
they will
live in
tell us
Oyo?
that they are.
You are from Oyo, Abi?
Let
Or you
them,
live- I beg.
let them do their
Let them
work.
run on gen. It is well. You can read the story on the 13th page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper on electoral hacks. This goes to Malami. Malami using office to endanger democracy. CSOs allege. These are the governors, Abi, the chief security officers. Of that. You can read more on the second page of that newspaper. Leave Emefiele out of politics. Economist one propagandist. Leave Emefiele out of politics. Emefiele is our governor now. CBN governor.
CBN
Yes.
governor.
You can read more on the 12th page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, and I have this too. Don't ignore ASU's threat on strike. Parents tell Buhari.
And they want to declare emergency on rituals.
On rituals.
Why ASU students are going on strike? They will use that time to go and learn Yahoo and ritualism.
Misplaced.
There's a lot of things wrong in the country that
We-
when we start talking about
That is it. Let's not dip into it because
of our
ASU
time.
is going on strike. Remember, the last time ASU called off the strike was during the NSAS protest.
And
it was because of that protest that they hastened to call off that strike.
Yes, now.
Now, ASU is threatening to go on strike. Students are going into ritual. Even some, in fact, well,
you know, the funny enough, all those young people that's doing all those Yahoo and all those things, who are they people? Are they not students? They're still students.
It will know. We only said it will give them enough
Time.
time to be professionals, to become pros. It is well.
Well, on the Punch newspaper, on the list story, marketers fear court cases.
He has not finished. He has not finished. He has more.
Okay, Chimeze is trying to.
I understand.
He has a lot to.
He has
but
the
it is well.
spirit here.
And I have this: 14 governors, 13 ex-governors, 3 ex-Senate presidents, others met in Lagos to build consensus for national rebirth. Well, it is well. Says conveners. It's on the 5th page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. On federal government roads, Nupeng threatened strike over alleged misappropriation of 621 billion naira fund. Well,
And we are still borrowing money. China have stopped borrowing us.
we are looking for
Japan.
other-
European continents.
But I think the last time we borrowed from what they call it, Germany too.
Let's see where we go borrow again.
Well, Abi,
We have not paid Germany people.
but let me
We
hold,
entered-
let me hold the European countries. If you can hear me now, wherever you are, please borrow at your own risk.
At your own risk.
It is well. Court gives judgment today on the elevation of Ibadan Bales. Well, that's to Ibadan people. You can read more on the second page of that news. And I have this to be the last content. The African GDP falls by $165 billion, 30 million lose jobs, 26 million drop into extreme poverty. Hey, Olua, AFDB president. You can read more on the 7th page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Grab a copy and be informed.
And on the Punch newspaper, yes, adulterated fuel. They will call it adulterated fuel.
Fuel.
Olagbara.
Marketers fear court cases. FG, that's federal government hits at compensation for damaged vehicles. Customers having problems with fuel suing outlets, arresting owners, marketers. 300 million liters arrive in Lagos as NNPC assures customers of 20-day supply. So we are going to see an end to
Long queues.
Yes, long
and the
queues. From here to Abalendena, Abeg is 100 naira.
I beg you.
From Siemens.
From Kotangura.
You're not nice
said
at
from
all.
here.
You're not
You are still
nice.
asking whether
No,
Siemens.
he said from here. It can be.
Where are we?
Just
Where are we?
I
We
wonder.
are at Archbishop's Palace in Marina, Lagos.
Oh, okay. Now I understand it.
Okay, and Still on the Punch newspaper, reps propose 7-year imprisonment, 500 million fine for officials. That's on the foreign medical trip, foreign treatment. The House of Reps, they are proposing 7-year imprisonment and 500 million fine for officials. To elaborate more on this, they are proposing this fine for, they said, officials that will be using government, that will spend government funds on foreign treatments. And you ask them, how many hospitals are working in Nigeria?
Do we have anything working?
Okay.
No lights.
ACF tackles Akeredolu on Southern presidency, says constitution must prevail. Okay, that's on page 7 of the Punch. We assembled 100 presidential materials, says 2022 committee. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And the audit query, reps summon ITF boss over 4-year unapproved spending. On page 24 of the Punch. Nupeng threatens strike, alleges federal government fails to fix 21 highways. Nupeng going on strike. Are we to see another fuel scarcity? Wike lends support as EFCC rearranges Jank for 6.3 billion fraud. And we still don't have money. A former governor is being arraigned for 6.3 billion.
Billion, not million.
Billion.
From a state.
A state.
Police suspect robbery. Gunmen in military uniform kill Ogunbi's man. Flee with car. Money. That's on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. Zamfara Assembly begins process to impeach Matawale's deputy. Page 18 of the Punch. If you have followed this story, is the governor defected to APC. The deputy refused to defect. So there has been back and forth.
After him.
He must defect. We've invested video. Okay. We are investigating video of lecturer shaving students' hair in classroom. That's varsity. The university is saying, page 5. Yes, video surface of one of the private universities yesterday. A lecturer was shaving the hair of a student.
Why?
The hair was overgrown and the rest of them. And if you go to this man's house, his kids are not well trained.
Wait, so university or secondary school?
University.
National Assembly. PDP caucus meets anim. Lawmakers back presidential bid. That's page 18 of the Punch newspaper. And on the pictorial story, yes, since of the ongoing demonstration against COVID-19 vaccine mandate implementation by Canadian Prime Minister, yes, in the front page of the newspaper, you see a picture of Canadians protesting of the COVID-19 vaccination mandate. The Canada, they have started their own, what is it called? You know, at a time in Nigeria, some governors made, and in the Federal Secretariat in Abuja, if you're not vaccinated, you cannot
enter into the offices.
So there is protest for against
making
that
it
now.
a mandate.
Yes. And that's all we have on the Punch newspaper.
Yes, we don't have much time. Yes, and let me quickly run through the Blueprint newspaper and we'll close for today. The front page, why Buhari must avoid conspiracy by power interest, says the IPAC. Delay as grave implications for 2023. CISLAC. Assent to bills will bequeath conspiracy credibility. Abino Foundation. You get the story on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. And NNPC orders 500,000 tons of fuel to ease shortages. Federal government begins probe of adulterated imports. And terrorists kill GBR DPO. 2 others adopt housewife. You get that on the front page and the continuation on page 6. And Zulum resettles Malawi returnees with 558.5 million naira, food and others. You get the story on page 13. And S-Jamb registrar Algerian Day floated 8 coins. 8 coins acquired 3 houses. Witness. You get the story on page 13. And listing benefits of of May 1st account for teenagers. Page 18 of the Blueprint newspaper. And suspected cultists invade Imo community, kill 7. You get a story on page 5. And AEDC resumes map scheme, targets 180,000 meters. You get that on page 21 of the Blueprint newspaper. And $23.30 billion traded in 2021. Investment announcement report, NIPC. And Ocean 2022, re-electing Oyetola a necessity, not an option, says the monarch. You get the story on page 8 of the Blueprint newspaper. That's all I have for you on the Blueprint. This is where we're drawing the curtains of today newspaper review. Thank you for being part of the show. We appreciate everyone. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you,
so
Shegun.
much.
Thank you, Chimizi. State of Nation will be coming up right now with Chimizi. Stay connected to Lagoon Radio and don't go anywhere.
This is Lagoon Radio.